Worst universes in gaming. You see, I've been thinking about this for a minute, okay? What is the worst video game to live in, okay? I was thinking about starting with movies. We could do, like, the Avengers, the MCU. We can even do other stuff like that. And then I realized something. This would be way more fun with video games. Why? I'm sorry, bro. If I have to explain to you why trying to live in the Dead Space universe is like an actual Lovecraftian sci-fi horror show of just absurd proportions, the fact that there is an entity called a Brethren Moon that is literally a moon-sized entity made by the flesh and bone and blood of a fallen civilization turned into a Cthulhu pebble. Absolutely not, bro. And then we got Bloodborne, which I'm gonna be real here, bro. Bloodborne is actually way more survivable than you think it is, and we'll cover that in a second. And then I started going down the rabbit hole, and then I started going down some more. So we got everything from Bloodborne, the Fallout universe, Dead Space, and last but certainly not least, the Dark Souls universe, okay, and many, many more. And we're going to put those in a tier list by just how likely I am to survive. Some of these, I'm going to be real, I might flourish in them. I might have a better life there than I do now, okay? So stick around to find out which one that is, okay? And one other thing before we get into this. Please do a like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and we are on track to do it because of the support of you guys. And just keep it up. I mean, like, we're at 141 now. We'll probably be at 142 in, like, 2 days. Like, I've realized that, like, our rate of growth is insane, and I'm blessed to even make it this far. And with all that out of the way, I'm going to stop yapping. Let's get into the worst universes in gaming. Let's go. Bloodborne. Okay. Little lore dump on the Bloodborne universe, okay? Imagine this. You're living in basically London, okay? Like Victorian London. And then the Healing Church comes out, which is basically the Catholic Church, and says, hey, yo, we got a new medicine, and it can cure all ailments. And then you don't ask any questions. You just partake in something called the Old Blood. And then they ain't lying, bro. Broken leg, done. Syphilis, done. Whatever the else, like, you got a tummy ache? Well, I don't really need it. Boom, stab him with the blood. Ah! And then boom, it's fixed. Like, balding. Hit, bro. You're balding in Victorian London? Old blood, you're fixed, okay? And things are going good for a minute. That is until people start turning into werewolves and they find out that the old blood is actually a blood transfusion from basically Cthulhu that's buried underneath London. Yeah, that's, like, I just simplified the entire lore of Bloodborne to basically, the church wanted to become a pharmaceutical company, and then they started giving out medicine that turned people into werewolves, and then they hired a group of people called the Hunters, and the Hunters got rid of the werewolves, but then it got so bad where people started turning into old types of bullshit, and then, yeah. That's essentially the world of Bloodborne, okay? And you may not believe this. Do you know how you survive the world of Bloodborne unironically? Just stay inside. Don't leave. Literally, that's all you have to do. Like, the entire time that this entire thing is going on, okay? Whether you're roaming the streets and there's literal Lovecraftian deities that break the fabric of reality, showing you ancient and sacred geometry, and all that's going on. Meanwhile, the average London mom, I'm making some beans on toast over here. No, I'm not even kidding. Bro, there was like a 5-year-old girl that's just vibing in this house and no problems. She was fine until you showed up. Honestly. Like, that's what I'm doing. If I'm in the Bloodborne universe, it's gonna suck, and I don't want it. But I have a very good chance at surviving if I just stay inside. And I'm going to put it in tough now, but I might move it down. But, like, that's how I feel about the Bloodborne universe. If you're outside, oh, you're cooked. Literally everything wants to murk you, bro. Even the Hunter might murk you because I believe the Hunter from Bloodborne is like a serial killer. And all of that, like, he's just taking out all of his aggression on people. I think that's a lot of what's going on. And I gotta put it in tough for that reason. The Fallout universe. Fallout, unironically, is one of the toughest universes to survive in because literally everything is built to no-diff you. Like, unironically, bro, like, I understand, like, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4 kind of became more zany, but, like, there's still, like, that really awkward element of, bro, everybody's going to die. Literally everybody. Name it. Bro, the moles try to kill you now. I'm cooked, bro. The moment mosquitoes start becoming the size of dachshunds, I'm done. I'm done. I like, there's literally no way I'm surviving that, okay? Name it. Literally everything. You have bro, gators turned into essentially WWE Undertaker build, and they just punch you to death. And it's because they were gators that breeded with death claws, and then they became gator claws, and it was a whole bunch of weird stuff. And also, death claws came from pre-war, which, I'm going to be real here, is unintentionally complicated. I don't understand why they did that. And then you have to fill in the factions. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, you could be a rich, like, person that came from a politician that gets to be in the Enclave. Unironically, that's the best case scenario, and even that best case scenario is very, very bad, because you're essentially living in 1984, but in the apocalypse. And you can do the Brotherhood of Steel, but then you're probably going to die to a super mutant. And, I mean, it'd be pretty lit for a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And then you got, like, the other ragtag groups, and all of those seem sucky to me. You could be a ghoul, that's about it. I'm cooked. Am I cooked? Am I cooked? I'm probably done. It's at the top. I might move it up before it's done. Fallout, unironically, is one of the most difficult ones to live in because everybody is suffering some form of struggle, and I'm not built for that. Yeah. Dead Space. We're cooked. Like, now, I'm just going to open it up with that. Dead Space is the toughest universe to survive because essentially Isaac, the main character of Dead Space, is literally surviving on a prayer and plot armor. I've thought about this video, but unironically it would be pretty boring, of what characters had the most plot armor. Isaac is one of them. I have no clue how he survived. Literally no clue. Like, even like the in-story reason, it's like, how? Huh? You just so happen to be fairly immune to the marker, but you're like immune enough to the marker where like it still affects you, but you don't get immediately mind controlled by it, and that like you just so happen to find the precise tool. I'm gonna call it a tool because it's not even really a weapon. It wasn't meant to be, to take out the necromorphs. If you're a regular bro, to give you an idea of how cooked you are as a regular person in the Dead Space universe, the whole reason that humanity was able to evolve in the Dead Space universe is because a marker hit the planet and killed off the dinosaurs, and then it guided humans' evolution to Homo sapiens. Yes, the canonical reason of humanity's existence in the Dead Space universe is essentially they're creating a farm of biomass that'll eventually go to the stars and create an empire for them. Which is so metal that needs to be made into a movie. I love that, bro. Somebody posted a meme in the Discord of me every single time Ethan starts talking about Dead Space, and it's just me tweaking. Yeah, bro. That's how I feel. I think Dead Space has a lore that needs to be adapted. I think Fallout has a lot more potential that they can dive into. And there's another one on here that I think is a literal ocean of untapped potential. But I'm going to put the Dead Space universe in... Brother, I'm cooked. There's no way. The Dark Souls universe. I'm cooked again. No. Like, I want you to think about this. The Dark Souls universe is an unironic post-apocalyptic Knights game. Like, I want you to think about that it passed that off so well that nobody really thinks of it like that no. Dark Souls is a post-apocalyptic medieval game. And I don't know why, bro, that hits so hard. Like what you're seeing is like, imagine like the peak of like Lord of the Rings or like Narnia. Man, bro, Narnia just came to me out of nowhere, bro. Who remembers that? Wait, okay, I'm gonna get back to it. And how like beautiful like that world was. Now imagine that, but like infinitely more shitty, and all of the bad guys won. It wasn't one bad guy. Literally every single bad guy won, and then the good guys turned out to be even worse, bro. Like, you might get lucky and you're born in like the 300-year span that like life was like somewhat decent, but like what I mean by somewhat decent, it's like if you got murked, you got murked by a royal family. Or you're like very unlucky or just normal at this point, and you're born during the fire is fading and all of the dead come back to life. So there's zombies, there's demons, there's dragons, there's literally everything. And guess what? Even if you were born during the good time, you're probably going to get resurrected as a walking corpse that's going to be come back over and over and over again until somebody lights the fire. Sucks. Really sucks, bro. Cooked. There's no way out of it. You're either going to have to live through it, or you're going to be dead and you're also going to have to live through it. Cooked, bro. No question. Doom. Bro, why do I have so many heavy hitters back to back to back? There's literally no way to win the Doom game. There's none. There's none. Okay, the Doom lore video is in the works. I can promise you that. Like we've already filmed a few segments. We have already kind of notes written down, and that's gonna be the next big lore video. Okay, and when I'm looking at Doom, like, canonically speaking, humanity have never been able to beat the demons. Literally never been able to beat them. The only time they won is in Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is the only time where humanity technically beat the demons. And when I mean, like, I keep on putting beat and won, is because, no, humanity just got to stick around long enough for the Doomslayer to come in and take care of business. Like, the Doomslayer is the only thing that keeps the demons from winning, because guess what? The leader, the devil in the Doom universe is just God. That's what it is. Oh yeah, that's the edgy reveal that they do. All of the legions of hell are actually led by a guy called Devoth, and Devoth was the original creator of the universe as we know it, and he was betrayed by one of his creations that subverted him, locked him in hell, and the anger of Devoth corrupted this realm and turned it into hell over time. And then the new father, which was like Vega, or Vega the father, and he became the new god over this universe and started the angels as kind of like a defense. And then the Seraphim came in, found Doomguy, and Doomguy was like almost a reincarnation of Devoth that may or may not have been created by Vega, and he allowed his universe to get destroyed so he would have the motivation to fight Devoth. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we're going to get into. This is like my little commercial for it. And then the Doom guy went into hell for a couple thousand years, and then he became so demented and crazed by bloodlust that he only knew rip and tear until it is done. And then he got abducted by the Night Sentinels, and then Vega and the Seraphim found him, and then they put him in the divinity machine that turned him into an archangel, and then war, done. Like, no joke, like, I'm not even kidding you, like, no, war, crusade, into hell, and then that's Doom 2016, and that's where we kind of got here. So, long story short, humanity have literally never won once, ever. Doom guy wins every time. I'm going to put this in cooked. So many cooked, bro. I'm gonna move one back, because I think we're cooked in there, too. I can't have 4 cooked in a row. Cyberpunk. Yeah, bro, I don't think we're cooked. I think it'd be a real big bummer. Like, I think it would. I think growing up in the Cyberpunk universe would unironically be, like, really sad. Because, I mean, like, no. I think people like the aesthetic, but, like, Cyberpunk has to be the only aesthetic where people really like how it looks, but they acknowledge that the universe that exists around it is just awful. Like, no. Like, people make fun of, like, the corporations run everything. Dog, Cyberpunk, it's just that. There's not even a country anymore. It's just corporations, okay? Like, literally everything you dislike about today, put that on steroids, and now you're crazy for pointing it out. Like, that's Cyberpunk, bro. At least if I'm in the Cyberpunk universe, there's a chance that I could live a semi-fulfilling life. Because I guess there's a chance. But, like, I'm gonna put it in, it's not easy. It would be a bummer. I would rather be here now because this is infinitely more lit. But I'm gonna put Cyberpunk in, maybe. Maybe I would be able to do it. Like, yeah, you have to get implants. And some people will, here's the weird part. Somebody brought up the Cyberpunk one, and they were like, well, good luck trying to survive without implants. Brother, I wouldn't. I'm getting a chimichanga. I'm getting a churrascaria right in my gullet, and I'm going to be whipping out burritos from a saved beef sirloin coming from my stomach. And that's going to be me. I'm going to be a cyber psycho within 5 minutes, bro. 100%. If you put me in... You think I'm going to try to survive the Cyberpunk universe without getting an implant? 100% I'm getting an implant, bro. I'm not Buddhist. And the reason I'm bringing that up is nothing against Buddhist people. But no, canonically speaking, Buddhist people are one of the only groups of people that don't get implants. That's why I'm bringing that up. So, I'm not that, so I would probably survive. Kind of. Yeah, I would survive. The Resident Evil universe. I'm really conflicted on this because the Resident Evil universe is kind of like... I'm going to be real. Somebody's going to say, what? But like, when I look at the Resident Evil universe, it wouldn't surprise me if that's like normal. Like, if we did a lot of that, bro, like, oh, they're testing out this new treatment on these poor people in Africa. Nobody would ever do that before. Open a history book. Go to the 1970s. No. Yeah, look that up. All I'm saying is Resident Evil took a lot of inspiration of stuff that actually did happen. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, the Umbrella Corporation, the only thing that's weird about the Umbrella Corporation is that they don't have more lobbying going on. Unironically, that is the most unbelievable part about the Umbrella Corp. Everything else that they did is like, it would, like, maybe I'm wrong for saying this. If the Umbrella Corporation existed today, the people would get mad at you for criticizing them too much. Why? Because their propaganda campaign would go absolutely insano style. That's the most unrealistic part about it. In terms of surviving in this universe, I'm gonna be real. I'd probably put it in tough. Why? Because society as a whole still functions. Like, it's not horrific yet. I'm putting it in tough. And I know somebody's going to bring up a Resident Evil movie. No. I'm just going to put it in, it would be tough. But like Fallout, there is no society. It's just gone. So Resident Evil, right below Bloodborne. Halo. Yeah, we're probably cooked. Like, no, Halo is like the diet version of Warhammer 40k. And that, like, somebody described it like that, and I can't unsee it because that's like essentially what Halo is. Like, if you are born a human in the Halo universe, okay, some people, okay, this is how I know you're new to Halo. Somebody said, oh, well, maybe I could become a Spartan. Brother, becoming a Spartan is unironically one of the worst fates inside of the Halo universe, dog. Like, no joke, bro. To become a Spartan is such an absolutely horrifically bad pull of luck. You got abducted as a child and your family no longer searches for you. And then they put you through the Spartan trials, which you literally have a... I'm gonna fix this so we know. A 90% chance of fatality, okay? So you're probably cooked already. And then if you survive all of that, they take away every aspect of you and replace it with a soldier. Because now you are a property of the UNSC. Okay? And then they were training you to fight other humans, but then aliens came, and then most of humanity got absolutely decimated. Humanity only won the Covenant War because the Covenant had a civil war before it happened. Yes. Unironically, the Covenant War versus humanity is like the Roman Empire versus the Germanic barbarians. And the Germanic barbarians won because they outlasted them. Like, no joke, that's essentially what happened, bro. We had a Middle East type of victory versus the Covenant. That's kind of what happened, bro. So we didn't beat them, we just slightly outlasted them. And I'm gonna put Halo in, I'm probably done. I don't know about cooked. Because here's the thing, bro. If the flood came down to Earth, now we're done. But that's not what you're asking. I did Invasions, and I said the flood would absolutely smoke us. But if you put me inside of the Halo universe, I'm probably done, but I got Master Chief, though. I do get Master Chief, so I'm probably safe. I don't think I'm going to make that big of a change in the world where we no longer can win. Minecraft. Survival. I would probably survive. Like, on a real note, bro, my toxic trait is I unironically think that if you put me in a Minecraft survival mode and I had, like, the rough abilities of Steve, I would actually do better. Yeah. No, if you, like, bro, I was watching the Minecraft movie. Okay, I was watching the Minecraft movie, Chicken Jackie. Okay, and, unironically, this seems awesome. Like, the fact that any of them were complaining about this existence legitimately made them mad. I would infinitely more want to live in there than here. Why? Well, what about nature? Bro, the nature looks beautiful there. It looks beautiful. The world is zany. I'm practically a god because I control what crafting is, so there's not, like, set rules or anything. So, like, the Minecraft survival world is one of the easiest ones to survive. Why? Because it just is. I'm gonna move this up again, okay? Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Minecraft. Bro, it's easy. Easy. I would survive the Minecraft universe. That would actually... Easy. Yes. Yeah, yes. Disagree with me. Please, I beg of you. What about creepers? Bro, I guarantee with you, a creeper is not sneaking up on you at the same clip that it does in Minecraft. Most of the stuff in Minecraft, you're probably going to be able to survive. That's all I'm saying, bro. All I'm saying, man. Skyrim or Elder Scrolls. I've been playing the Oblivion remake lately. Absolutely a banger. And I just realized something, bro. The Elder Scrolls universe is it's borderline dark fantasy. Like, borderline is. Why? So let me get this straight, bro. We have 7 Daedric princes, and the only thing that's keeping them from taking over our reality is essentially staples and prayers. Okay? So Oblivion Gates just open every near and there, okay? And then when the Oblivion Gates were destroyed and they can no longer get in here, you could still summon them into our world. Okay, so cooked. And then we have literal Lovecraftian gods that exist outside of our dimension that can have a host like Marak. And then he's a Dragonborn from a different time. Okay? Speaking of Dragonborn, dragons. So, we also have a dragon god that births something called Alduin, and Alduin is the world eater that has to be defeated by the Dragonborn. And then on top of that, we have civil wars and military conquest like every other thing. And, listen, no. If you look like me, bro, you're either a Brighton or you're a Nord. Like, on a real note, bro, like, to my African audience, okay? You are a Redguard, okay? And to the Imperials, I'm gonna be real here, okay? So, I didn't get this joke until, like, I replayed Skyrim. So, do you guys remember Skyrim and they had, like, whatever your race was, you got a bonus? Like, I don't know how they could get away with that now. But one of them was an Imperial, and the Imperials found more gold than any other race. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, that is some peak level humor. If you know, you know. Okay, I'm putting Skyrim with everything that I've named. I'm probably done, bro. I'm probably done. Yeah, probably done. It's not guaranteed like Dark Souls, Doom, and my gosh, Dead Space. But we're very, very close. It's not as bad as the 3Ds, but it's Skyrim's up there though. The Last of Us, bro. I just got into an argument like a day ago, arguing would the surgery over Ellie actually do anything? And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This is how petty I am. I pulled up a video of a surgeon reacting to the surgery that they were gonna perform on Ellie, and this guy absolutely eviscerated it, saying, "So let me get this straight. You think that extracting the mushrooms from the brain of Ellie, which will absolutely murk her, you think that'll make a cure? You're like 50% sure. Why don't you just take a blood sample? Why wouldn't you just take a blood sample first to see if there's like a way that it could be done? Because, yeah, why wouldn't you just start with that? They don't. They quite literally don't do that. They're just like, well, she's immune, so we need to cut open her head. What? That escalated very quickly. Oh, yeah, bro. Joel Miller's 100% justified to not want Ellie to do the surgery. And honestly, that's how I feel about it. Joel's 100% justified not to be down with the surgery. I think that's a valid take, bro. Now, doing what he did at the hospital, you can argue they weren't going to listen. But when I'm talking about The Last of Us, bro, you have society as you know it has collapsed. You have clickers, you have runners, you have infected out the wazoo, and then you got raiders. Unironically, not as bad as Fallout. It just isn't as bad as Fallout. It would be the top of very, very tough. It's not as bad as Fallout. It's just not. If you think Fallout is easier than the Last of Us universe, play those games. Last of Us is not as difficult as Fallout. No question. Resistance, bro. I'm going to keep on bringing up Resistance because that needs a remake. Absolutely no question. And it's owned by PlayStation. Yes, at any point we could get a Resistance remake or remaster and they just don't do it, bro. Forget Killzone. Give me Resistance, man. So let me tell you how this works. So right out during World War II, aliens came down called the Chimera and infected humanity with like a spore thing that would turn them into Chimera, and then those Chimera would turn other humans into more refined versions of a Chimera. And then they would make these armies on Earth, and then there would be these wars, and the Chimera basically won to the point where they were opening up a wormhole in New York that was slowly but surely terraforming the planet to make it more cold. And then they were opening up a wormhole for the original Chimera to come out. That is never elaborated on ever again because it ended with Resistance 3. And I'm going to be real here, dog. That's so metal, dude. I'm probably done. I am probably cooked in the Resistance universe. No, the only thing that saved the Resistance universe was one dude named Joseph that had plot armor so heavy that he took a trip from basically Florida to New York and took out all of the armies of the Chimera, mono e armo. Okay? I'm putting the Resistance one in I am cooked. Joseph is practically the Doom guy. Oh, I love the Resistance game, bro. They are a part of my soul. I love those games, man. They went hard on the PS3. Warhammer 40K. Now, I didn't know where to put Warhammer because, yes, I know it's not a video game. I know it's more of a board game, but it's not from movies. It's not from TV. So I'm just gonna do video games because that's the closest that I can do. Unbelievably, hilariously cooked. Very, very bad. Okay, like there's no way. There's no way to survive this, bro. Name it, and it's probably there. You have the Tyranids, you have the Dark Imperium, you have demons, you have other demons, you got blue demons, you got purple demons, you got elves, and you got dark elves in space. And then you got the actual space travel that's even worse. And then you think, oh, well, the Imperium's on my side. The slightest bit of heresy from you is getting you absolutely mowed down. No, I don't want you to think about this. If your planet has a little bit of heresy on it, they just glass your entire planet. You couldn't even have done anything wrong. You're just in the wrong space at the wrong time, bro. I went down a rabbit hole of like the worst jobs in the Imperium, and I might do like worst jobs in Fixin' pretty soon. And literally 90% of it is here. There's a job and it's Dreadnought Refueler. No, not Dreadnought. It's whatever the SIPs are called. Dreadnought's a different thing. And we'll talk about Dreadnoughts in a second. And your whole job is to carry a lead casket that's slowly rotting you away to put a nuclear reactor inside of another reactor, and that entire time you're getting turned into people pudding. Okay, bad. And then you go into Dreadnought. Let's say you're a space marine. When you get too old or are slain in battle, but your brain still has activity, they lock you inside of a metal coffin where you cannot rest and all you know is war. I'm putting this in cooked. Very cooked. Yes, up there, bro. Yeah. Horrifically bad. No question. And there you go. Those are the worst universes to live in video games. I wanted to limit to video games for this one. We'll do movies in the future. We might revisit this. one. But this is like a good callback to like I made an apocalypse video this time last year, roughly, and that's the thing that blew up my channel. I think it has like 300,000 views right now, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like understand, I wasn't even monetized when that video came out. Like I had less than 1,000 subscribers, and I wanted to do something that's in the same vein but not quite copying it. I might remake that video later down the line with like some better stuff, and yeah, I just wanted to do something similar to that for this beautiful Friday, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay. A few other announcements. The Doom Lore video's coming out. We're building a new set in the other room. We have a Minecraft Confessions video, number 2, that you guys really liked the first one, and that's going to be coming out, and I think I'm going to do Sunday release. I think that'll be good. And then we have, again, a new set that's being built there that's going to be like, almost like a Moist Critical video. Like, we'll do like a... We'll have an open forum in the Discord. Go in the Discord, link in the description down below, and you'll be able to send stories that you want me to react to. And I don't know if I want to make this announcement. I'll do it. We got fiber optic getting put in over there, so that means streaming is going to be a thing, and we're working on a streaming schedule, but that's going to be another thing added to the channel. We got a lot of big stuff planned for the channel, and I'm very excited to be showing off to you within the next couple of weeks. And if that sounds good to you, please consider like, comment, and subscribe. 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year is the goal, and you guys are getting me there. Yeah, I think we're going to get there. And I just want to say thank you for that. And if you haven't subscribed, do so. And with all that out of the way, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Adios.